Hi, welcome to Sugar Free. This is the Q4 reading for Capricorn. Thank you for joining me, Capricorn. Let's have a look at what's coming in for October, November, and December 2023. I'm working with two decks here. I've got this beautiful ancient Italian tarot, and I'm working with the major arcana of this deck. I know this deck very well. I've been working with it pretty much exclusively for a good decade now. I've got some lovely oracle cards too, which we might delve into. And here I've got the Rider-Waite minor arcana split into its suits. So the way I do these readings, Capricorn, is I pull 3 major arcana cards, and then I clarify each of those major arcana cards with one from each suit of the minor arcana. That's how I read. So maybe you'll like it, maybe you won't. Let's have a look. Okay, card number 1, the Devil in reverse. Card number 2, Hierophant. Okay, and card number 3, the Sun. Wow, Capricorn, this is lovely, man. This is really nice. I mean, this first position here is what we're coming into the reading with. It's the immediate energetic environment around you. And it's the Devil in reverse. So this is just liberation from very personal and kind of self-induced and self-fueling peccadillos and little like obsessions and bad habits and like the things that kind of tug at us in an unhelpful way. And as I'm miming that, that's kind of what I'm seeing the devil doing. Okay, he's shaking his fist. There's a lot of anger here, but there's also a lot of hurt, I feel. And the reason I say that is because I always see that wound over his heart. And there's something here about hurt people hurting people. But of course, the ones we hurt the most, it's ourselves, isn't it? And that's what the devil is. But here it's in reverse. This is absolutely lovely. The hidden energy here is the Hierophant. The second position is the hidden energy. So the Hierophant, I get the feeling from this, and we'll see, but I get the feeling that somewhere in the background of what's been going on for you recently, someone has been sort of applying some rules or sort of drawing up some, I don't know, codes of conduct or something. There's codes of conduct being imposed on this situation. But I'm very interested to see why this is hidden and what else is going to appear from the minor arcana in this column. I always find the second column really fascinating. The third column here, or the third position here, is things as they really are, the bigger picture. And also what can be expanded to from the immediate to the extended. Okay. So, and of course it all fulcrums, if there is such a word, on the second position here. So I'm going to pull on that straight away. I don't usually do this. I usually do it consecutively, but I'm going to start with the Hierophant here because I'm fascinated to know why this very public kind of codifier of moral and spiritual energy and behavior, codes of conduct, as I say, it's coming through really strongly. Why would this be, as I say, from this very public setting? I mean, there are even other people there. And a reader I was watching the other day pointed out that this is the first card we get, card number 5, where there are other people present. So we've kind of gone public here, but as I say, it's hidden. Or it might be not so much hidden, it might be more of an obscuration, something that is blocking your view. We'll see. I'm pulling on it. Okay, we've got the Page of Pentacles. So there's intense focus here. And there's a sense of sort of starting out. So with a very, very clear not sort of destination necessarily, but something along those lines, a very, very clear end goal. I'm just channeling what I'm getting, Capricorn. Let's see. Let's get one from the Wands. Yeah, there you go. You see? Ace of Wands. Like the spirit of creation, the spirit of material creation. Here we've got maybe some sort of plan around something to do with investment and income. Like putting it in, getting it out. And there's a goal in mind here. This is turning really beautiful. Okay, famous last words. Seven of Swords. Well, this isn't always the thief or the cheat. This is sometimes just knowing when not to say something. All right. This is sometimes just keeping your thoughts to yourself and kind of quietly disappearing with the Five of Swords, which is so God, I suddenly can't actually remember. Oh yes, okay. What the Five of Swords is. We've got the chap in the Five of Swords. I'm not going to find it because I don't want to disturb the little packs here. But there's a real echo here of this is really taking conflict out of off the field in a covert way, and that's not always a bad thing. I mean, he gets a really bad press, the Seven of Swords. I mean, you don't know, he might actually be doing them a favor. Just saying. Let's get the cups from here. Yeah, 10 of Cups. Well, you know, we'll see what transpires in the rest of the reading. But I mean, the 10 of Cups is a beautiful cup card to pull in this hidden energy. There's something really good brewing here. Really, really good. And even though you don't see it, you can sort of smell it on the wind, Capricorn. And perhaps that's why this devil is in the reverse here. But the devil coming into the reverse and all those hooks and chains and binds and ties kind of coming undone and falling out and all this is a personal decision. This is when one kind of really grapples with one's like that gacky stuff down in the sacral chakra that keeps us trapped, keeps us resentful, keeps us angry, and keeps us isolated. The devil's a terribly lonely figure. And dealing with that is a personal matter, and one does it. I mean, you know, you might have to sort of like go cold turkey on this, that, and the other if you're banged up. All right. I don't know what that means in the States, but it means jailed in the UK. But other than that, like, detoxing basically is a decision one takes for oneself. And it's underpinned with this almost exclusively very positive energy here. I am intrigued by the Seven of Swords. So we'll see how it fits in with the other sword cards I pull, because these readings are both vertical and horizontal. Right, I'm going to come to the devil in the reverse now. Okay, Four of Pentacles. Again, this is keeping stuff to oneself. But something's been released here, or something is being released in the hidden energy. One of these pentacles is being chosen and kind of brought out into the open. So perhaps this column is going to be about, I mean, it's great when we decide to detox, but often it's taken something really, really quite serious and perhaps quite grave to get us to the point where we know we have to like chuck the addictions and chuck the obsessions and really look at these things and what's fueling it. And as I say, fueling it, I see that fire. at the base, you know, the fires of hell, basically, under the devil's feet. We've got stuff being kind of held on to and not stuff that should be being or could be being kind of exchanged and traded, karmic trades here. It hasn't been in this energy. Let's keep going, because that could mean so many things, but I am getting something, some sort of correlation here between the Seven of Swords with that kind of like, you know, that kind of scuttling off energy quietly when everybody's still asleep. Okay. I'm getting a correlation between that and this Four of Pentacles energy, where what one has to offer is not offered. It's held on to by the self. There's some sort of correlation there. But as I say, it looks like one of these pentacles is being released here and surveyed and brought to the open market, if you like perhaps a kind of loss leader, like test run with something like a pre-launch. Okay. Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, no wonder stuff's being held on to, because this Five of Wands, I think I had this in the same position. It's amazing. I shuffle so much between readings, but stuff comes up, same cards, often same position, but with a different story, obviously, in each reading. Not completely different, but different enough, hopefully. dear viewer, dear listener, dear Capricorn. We've got an unwinnable and therefore unlosable conflict here. And it's a kind of generalized spirit of just unruly behavior and sort of aggression. But it's not heavy duty. And it's just this kind of squabbling energy. And as I say, there are no winners and there are no losers. I'm intrigued as to why this devil is in reverse here. I really am. I mean, it's great, but, you know, is this something recent? Is this like a quick decision to sort of clean your act up? I'm going to keep going. Okay, we got the Knight of Swords. Well, quick decision. Maybe it was. That's what, you know, a message swiftly and accurately, if a little bit like out of breathedly delivered here, given and or delivered. This is swift thought, swift speech, and you know, because it's the Knight, the import of these thoughts and words, so that's what the swords are. It's like acts of mental and verbal karma. The import of it is important, is significant, and it must be something to do with this. Maybe it's not your own kind of. It just strikes me. Maybe flipping heck. Maybe someone has like proper job, like full on exited your life, or is something's like suddenly like off. And whereas we have been kind of holding on to stuff and not trading what can be traded, not taking your love to town, so to speak, and just like keeping everything sequestered, like stuffed in your pockets, in little like hidden bits of your handbag or something. You know, it's just keeping stuff to yourself, and this kind of ongoing rumbling kind of conflict energy here. As I say, unwinnable, therefore unlosable. And the reason I say that is because all these young people here are the same. They're the same, and they got the same. They're fighting with the same thing, and they're probably fighting over the same thing, and they've probably fought over that thing using those wands, those clubs. those cabers, as they're called in Scotland, using those over and over and over again. This is well-worn stuff. So in a sense, no wonder it hasn't felt like a conducive environment for kind of, yeah, trading your karmic goods and actually getting amongst the swim of things with your investments and your income, being active. This is like keeping your head down. And so is this, as I say, the Seven of Swords in a way. So there's a kind of, there's some sort of swift turnaround in terms of information. And the Three of Cups, well, something's kind of, what a swift, like shift, a swift shift in this first column. Like there's something really joyful about this. So there's really mixed energies here. We've got this conflict and this constriction. We've got this like heavy duty kind of manipulative energy here of the devil on its head. And like a rapidly changing cognitive and communicative landscape and like celebration of being equal, because they are all equal, these women. You know, no one's vying for kind of supremacy here. It's lovely. Yeah, we leave that to the queen, right? When it comes to the women. So it's intriguing, absolutely intriguing. I mean, there's a beautiful expansion here from friendship to love in the Ten of Cups. From sort of contact and spending time together here to like the establishment of an emotional union. It's really lovely. Perhaps here in the movement from the Knight of Swords to the Seven of Swords, there's this kind of shift from perhaps sort of blabbing the farm, like over communication, to a sudden sort of drawing in of and keeping stuff to yourself more. And that this is, you know, I'm saying these things, this is not necessarily advice nor predictions. I'm just sort of looking at the kind of the energetic contours. When one wand is chosen from this five, and communication here in the swords is done really, really carefully and really precisely. I mean, I wonder why those two swords are not in his arms. Why are they still there in the ground? Perhaps he just couldn't carry them all. I don't know. I mean, yeah, anything beyond seven swords, they're either in the ground around you in the Eight of Swords, or they're stuck on your bloody wall in the Nine of Swords, or they're stuck in your back in the Ten of Swords. You can't carry more. This is perhaps, I mean, perhaps, yeah, this is perhaps about reaching the limits of our thinking on something. And the limits of our thinking and our kind of linguistic energy in the world, the limits of that in the context of sort of taking us somewhere. Perhaps the limits of that have been reached and it's time for a rethink. But I mean, this is the kind of the underlying emotional motivation here. And with all of this, crowning it all is, you know, the Pope, that like you know, God's fat controller on earth. The one who everybody has decided, including him, has the hotline to the divine, presiding over this whole thing. It's a fascinating reading, Capricorn. I'm going to come over to the sun now. Don't believe it. It's the same position, completely different reading, massively shuffled. Honestly, I sit watching interesting documentaries, shuffling all these cards before I do any readings. Here it is again, like it was in the previous one. The Nine of Pentacles, I mean, what a beautiful clarification for the Sun. However, I am interested. I mean, the Sun is clarity of vision. Nothing's obscured. Everything's kind of bright and high definition and concluded. You know, we've reached the happily ever after. It's here and it's here. However, this is a solo energy, all right? And you know, I could, in a rather crass and crude sort of way, say that in order to enjoy the feeling of this one could do well to embrace this kind of selfhood and this yes, stability and pleasure, frankly, in being the individual one is, with all one's pentacles heaped up around one and one's hawk on one's gauntlet. One does like a spot of hawking, you know. It's nice. It's really, really lovely. It's like I've got everything I want. I've got everything I need. You know, my investments have paid off really well. I'm not just talking about financial investments. I'm talking about karmic investments. And I'm in a good place. She's in a good place. What can I say? Well, that's a good place as well. So here we're back to, this is called the marriage card. But this is a doorway. This is a portal. When you step through there, you're in another world. And it looks good. Basically, it looks really good. Oh, well, there we go. I was talking about the Nine of Swords. Don't sweat this, man. Don't sweat it. Don't fret it. That's it. That is devil energy. All right. Now, I don't take reversals in this minor arcana section. It'd be very interesting to see if that come out in reverse. If I did, I don't do reversals. And everything's shuffled, you know, upright. Whereas the major arcana here, when I shuffle it, I split it into two packs and like this, and you know, I turn them on their head upside down every which way, just to really like freshen the energy. Anyway, Nine of Swords. Okay, let's, oh man. Right, now, the Nine of Swords, this is really, okay, we've got the Ace of Cups. And I'm not going, yeah, the Ace of Cups. Because I really do need to pay attention to this Nine of Swords here, and this like things as they really are column, because that is it's a bit of a shocker, if I may. And it rather sort of dampened my my ardor for the Ace of Cups there. But anyway, what I was going to say about the Nine of Swords here, this is the middle of the night. All right, this is those fears, those anxieties, those like horrible sort of what ifs, and those like such clear and intense memories and clear and intense thoughts one has in the middle of the night. I mean, bottom line is there's nothing I can think of, right, in my nearly 60 years of life that was a good idea at 3 o'clock in the morning and then also a good idea at 9 o'clock in the morning or 8 o'clock in the morning. Not a single thing. Everything that happens in this space is kind of useless. But the problem with it is that it feels so flipping intense and so real and so, you know, usually, frankly, like disastrous. That's what we see. Like, it's just like catastrophizing and regret. There's regret here, and shame, and just grief. Oh my God, what's that doing there? But it is the middle of the night, and this dude, right, sitting here weeping in the middle of the night. I mean, you know, I don't want to make light of you know, mental and emotional suffering, but you know, he might not be feeling like that by 8 a.m. It's usually the way. It's a sort of light energy somehow. It just, and I mean, it would have to be because it's in this column with all this wonderful, wonderful stuff, but it does link back 9 of Swords and 7 of Swords. And to a certain extent, well, yeah, this, the 4 of Pentacles and the 5 of Wands, these are kind of, this reading is sort of, it's like coming over here back to this devil in the reverse. And yet there is also so much like massive well-being on the table. Absolutely massive. Okay, I'm going to pull. All right, no. I'm going to listen. Just acting on this, on the 9 of Swords, could really pull you back into this like manipulative self-manipulatory, and you know, other manipulatory and manipulation by the self and by others could pull you right back into that. And that would be a real shame, Capricorn, because I mean, clearly Ace of Cups, you know, the just new love, a completely fresh approach to love. And what I'm seeing for the first time in this card, in this reading today, is that the water was stagnant. It was stagnant, and this is stagnant energy. Right, I'm going to revise what I said about the 9 of Swords here. And that it could, I mean, of course, it could, if you act on your 3 a.m. like horror stories, you're going to F your life up. And you know, yeah, definitely like devil energy. But I'm going to overcome that. I'm going to override that in terms of what I see here in the Ace of Cups. What I see here is a cup that was stagnant, and the flow has started. And there's a clean out and a clean out and a clean out. Like the pipe works for this kind of water feature thing here. You know, they've been clogged up and like gacky and all of this, and it's flowing now. It wasn't before, but it is now. That's what I'm getting a real kind of chronological thing going on here today with the Ace of Cups. And I think what this is saying to me is that no matter you know, the pain, basically, I mean, you know, the worry, the anxiety, it doesn't matter, that will kind of always be there. And I mean, I've adopted a couple of habits, of like mental habits in the night, because you know, at my age now, I often don't sleep all the way through unbroken. And so I have 2 little rules. One, the simplest and easiest one, is that I do not look at the time. I don't look at the time if I'm awake in the night. I've disciplined myself to not do it, because whatever you see is going to cause some sort of emotional reaction. You know, one's executive functions are lesser. One's sort of executive, like overalls, like cognitive and emotional overalls, are really thin in the middle of the night. So if something comes to my mind, I really, really try not to think about it. And a very, very good habit I've developed. Well, I've been doing this for 10 years, but I'm a Buddhist and I chant Buddhist mantras every day. And if I'm starting to get plagued by some sort of like unpleasant thoughts in the night, I just chant a mantra in my head. And it works. It's never not worked. Anyway, this is a really beautiful, beautiful, beautiful reading. And I think the negative things in this are present. And what I see here is an acknowledgement of one's own, our own kind of peccadillos, our faults, our weaknesses, and a movement through this kind of rather hesitant and kind of, it's going fast, but it's going slow. We've got conflict, we've got friendship here, yeah, competition. And as I said about the Three of Cups in this context, in this reading, in this position, no one here is trying to kind of be the big I am in this trio. There's equality here. And then we move through all this with these funny little kind of blips of the energy, but the rest of it is just so good, Capricorn, that it just, the flow from that Ace of Cups just sweeps away these kind of little like sticking points. And it is definitely something to do with the reversal of the devil energy. Something is lifted here, some sort of stricture. I'm just looking for a nice, a nice oracle card. Some sort of stricture, some sort of straight jacket, okay, is lifted right at the start of this reading. And perhaps what it is that we've been in a straitjacket. We've been like subject to this devil energy, this drain. It's both draining and stagnant. You know, it's almost sort of pleasurable how painful it is. I don't think I'm a weirdo when I say that, but there is always a little bit of that. You know, it's like, I don't know, the first thing that comes to my mind is stuff I've seen where people are drinking like shots. I mean, I don't drink shots, but people are drinking shots and they like, and they all like knock it back. And then they like grimace and it's like painful, but they do it because they like it. That's devil energy, you see. That's something about the lifting, the dissolving. And it's like the fetters are off, the straitjacket's off. And if you've been in a straitjacket for a long time, once they take it off, it's going to take you a while to get control of your limbs back. And that's kind of what I'm seeing here. The Four of Pentacles, the Five of Wands, the Seven of Swords, and the Nine of Swords are the kind of sticky, blocky, kind of could go backy to this sort of energy, but it's gone. It's flipping gone. And we see that here in the sun. It's really lovely. Right, I'm going to pull just a kind of oracle card from this Buddhist prayer deck. Really, really beautiful. I'm just going to open it up and pull one at random. I'm just going to open the deck. Look at these. Aren't they lovely? So we've got that section there. And I don't even know what the different sections represent with these different sort of suits. Look at that. And is there another one? Yeah, there we go. Lovely. I'll tell you what, I'm really drawn to pull from one of these. So I'm going to pull one of these ones. Right, let's do it this way. Faintly infantile. I'm pulling this one. All right, let's have a look. Right, this is from somebody called Shinran, and this is they lived 1173 to 1263. It probably was a man, I would think. Although my eyes, blinded by passions, did not see the brilliant light that embraces me, the great compassion never tires, always casting its light upon me. So what that means, to my mind, is that no matter 5 of Wands, the conflict and the pain that that brings, no matter the fear that's involved in this clutching of the Pentacles, sorry, here in the 4 of Pentacles, no matter sort of how secrecy or perhaps dishonesty, or perhaps just stuff not said has affected us, and no matter how much that has played into this 9 of Swords energy, it's still there. As he says, although my eyes blinded by passions, there we go, there's the passion, the fires of passion in the Devil card there. There's passion as well in the Ace of Cups. I'll tell you this, the longer I meditate every day, the more dispassionate I become, and the deeper the love I am able to give, because it's not all drama anymore. But anyway, although my eyes, blinded by passions, do not see the brilliant light that embraces me, and you certainly don't see it at 3 a.m. with your 9 of Swords there, the great compassion never tires, always casting its light upon me. It's like the sun. It's like the sun. There is a really, really beautiful Vedic and Buddhist mantra to the sun. Very, very interesting. The Gayatri mantra. Really beautiful. And it's about the fact that the sun shines on everyone. As Tess Durbeyfield said in Tess of the D'Urbervilles by Thomas Hardy, the sun do shine on the just and the unjust alike. And it shines on you, okay? It shines on me, and it shines on everyone. Order is being restored here somehow with the removal of this stricture here in the Devil in reverse. And there's a kind of rather sort of tottering progress here towards the Ace of Cups and all the emotional stuff that we need in order to be happy. Yeah, we're able to share on an equal footing. We're able to sort of unify with others to create happiness, which is a real step up from this. I mean, it's the same thing, but and you know, the whole spirit, the Shakti of love itself here in the Ace of Cups and connection. And I mean, it is in a sense about connection, because it is when the light and the warmth of the sun connect with us and with all living things that life itself takes place. And I guess here in this Buddhist setting here, life itself and the sun, the giver of life, is kind of depicted here as compassion. And that tells us something about the Buddhist attitude towards compassion and about its universality and its democracy. So yeah, Capricorn, beautiful, beautiful Q4 for you. You know, some like bumps in the road here, but the direction of travel is fabulous. And this, the spirit of this, in conjunction with this Devil in the reverse, you know, basically we're talking here about natural processes. We're talking about the sun. He's not talking about a person. He's talking about a quality. The great compassion never tires, always casting its light upon me, even if I don't see it. He's not talking about a person there. He's talking about an approach. And the natural aspect of the sun bringing life suggests to me that the deliverance from this devil energy is part of a natural process and not necessarily subject to the decisions of men and women. That's just my instinct. Right, I'm going to leave that there, Capricorn. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful Q4. Bye-bye.